As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Oh, you know this is going to be a great movie opening like that. And there are so many great scenes in this masterpiece, Goodfellas.
Oh, you rugged Jerry.
My usual. Zero, nothing. I tell you, the fuck. He said, no, something today, tough guy. I said, all right.
Now, in light of the recent deaths of Ray Liotta and Big Paulie Sorvino, I wanted to get back to my series of famous Sicilians. So let's take a look here at who Ray Liotta actually portrayed in this awesome movie made by another famous Sicilian, Martin Scorsese, is Goodfellas, of course. And I'm talking about Henry Hill, and Goodfellas is based on Henry's time in the mob and his eventual arrest. I already did a video about Martin Scorsese. It's linked in the description. Now, I actually saw Goodfellas in a theater, and it's probably the third greatest gangster movie ever made. It's certainly the best authentic gangster movie. I'm not trying to throw any hate on the Godfather movies, but come on, Goodfellas is a lot more authentic. Probably because Goodfellas was made by a Sicilian, not an Italian. Now, having grown up on Long Island, I got to hear the early interviews Henry Hill did after he left the witness relocation, such as on the Howard Stern show. He did a lot of interviews with Howard Stern. But I love this movie. And Henry Hill, as mentioned in Goodfellas, hey, he's like me. He's half Sicilian through his mother, Carmela Costa.
But Jimmy and I could never be made because we had Irish blood. It didn't even matter that my mother was Sicilian. To become a member of a crew, you've got to be 100% Italian so they can trace all your relatives back to the old country.
And the wiki page almost gets it right. It's like they're trying to push my buttons. So you see here, she's an Italian immigrant of Sicilian descent. So now, only being half Siciliano, Henry Hill, even though he was working with the Lucchese crime family, could not be a made guy like Billy Batts.
Batts was a made man and Tommy wasn't.
Though I don't particularly like this line.
Among the Italians, it was real greaseball shit.
Now, as far as Henry Hill's Sicilian heritage, and, well, his heritage in general, this was pretty tough, even though the Sicilian records are really good. It turns out his noni, his grandparents, yeah, not so good with dates. It seems to be something with immigrants, not good with dates. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. If you got a date on a naturalization record like I'll show, it might not be right. But we'll get to that. But what is certain is that Henry Hill was born on June 11th, 1943. His parents are Henry Hill Sr., which makes it easier, usually, and Carmela Costa. Now, Henry has said that his father was born in Ireland and immigrated after his father passed away, but I couldn't prove that. In fact, the 1950 census has Henry Sr. born in New York. So not much is available. It doesn't help that, it's such a common name. And I know it could be a mistake. It depends on who's doing the reporting. But absent any other records, I'm going to err in favor of this record in that Henry Hill's father may have been Irish, but he was born in New York City. Now, his mother's info was not as difficult. There was a lot available, but it was really a challenge to find it. Like I said, they got the dates wrong. Now, I did find Carmela's parents. They are Filippo Costa and Maria Stella De Stefano. And I have their 1910 Barrafranca Enna marriage record. But I can't find Carmela's birth or baptism record. Now, if the date is correct on Filippo's naturalization, that it's 1910, then she was born before they were married. So there would not be a baptism record, but there's no civil record either. Now, Find a Grave is 1912, but that doesn't match up with the travel record that I have. So I'm thinking 1911 because I did find a brother Pietro who was born in May of 1910. And there's no indication it was a twin birth. There's no other record there. So I'm guessing he died as a baby before they immigrated to the United States. He's not mentioned on the travel records or the naturalization records. So looking at the two naturalization documents, one with the second wife, Maria Giovanna Bonello, we know it's the same Filippo and Maria because of the address. And of course, I have her naturalization record. Now, I was able to find both of their Sicilian baptism records. Of course, Filippo was pretty tough because he got his birth date wrong, as I mentioned, so it took a while, but I did find it. Now, Filippo was born on 5 March 1886 in Barrafranca, Enna, which is a province in Sicily. And Maria was born 19 January 1892 in Pietraperza, which is also in Enna, which is maybe 50 miles from Barrafranca. And the Enna province is just southeast of Palermo, and they actually immigrated from that makes sense that they would immigrate from Palermo. Filippo was on a ship Canada, and Maria Giovanna Bonello on the Patria. Now, I do have Maria Stella Di Stefano on this 1915 travel record with Carmela. Now, Sicilian women did not use the husband's name, but if you notice here, they did put Costa in parentheses, so I'm pretty certain I got the right people. Now, since Filippo didn't marry Ms. Bonello until 1918 in New York City, Maria Stella probably died between 1915 and 1918. I did see a short documentary about Henry Hill, and the claim was made Carmela claimed her mother died when she was 2. Well, she's 4 in 1915. Of course, that could be wrong, but she's 4 in 1915 on this Ellis Island record, so it was more like she was 4 or 6 when Maria Giovanna Di Stefano passed away. And wow, Maria Stella is a really common name in Barrafranca, Enna. I mean, it is like the most common girl's name in that part of the province. So maybe it has something to do with a patron saint. Like in Palermo, it's Rosalia. I also have her mother's June 1st, 1890 Barrafranca baptism record. And because I did find Filippo Costa's 1886 baptism record, I was able to get Henry's Bisnoni, or his great-grandparents, who are Pietro Costa and Carmela Aleo. Now, this explains 2 things. It explains why Filippo's firstborn boy is Pietro, because the European naming tradition was to be named for your grandparents. So Carmela Costa, Henry's mother, is named for her paternal grandmother, Carmela Aleo, since she is the firstborn female. And because I have Maria Giovanna Bonello's 1892 baptism, her genitore, or her parents, are Vincenzo and Maria Caligera. I was able to find Pietro Costa and Carmela Aleo's 1864 Barrafranca marriage record that has their parents listed, which is so great about these records. They are Henry's second great-grandparents, and their names are Pietro Paolo Costa and Giuseppe Volpi, and Alessandro Aleo and Benedetta Bellante. I was able to find Pietro Paolo and Giuseppe's 1835 marriage record, so I have back to Henry's 3-time great-grandparents, who are Giacomo Costa and Maria Stella. There again, Maria Stella Bevilacca. They were probably born about 1780, 1785. So a few more hours and I could probably get back to the 1600s, since the Sicilian records, the church records, are so good, and they are on Family Search. You just go to catalog, you click on that, and then you do a search for where you want to search. And we're very lucky. Sicilian records, really, really good, going back a lot of instances to the late 1500s. So that is some of the heritage of Henry Hill, the criminal portrayed in Goodfellas, a famous, or rather infamous, Sicilian. Well, half Sicilian like me.
Just the good half.
So thanks for watching, and now
Go home and get your fucking shine box.